Ladies and Germans, how are you all doing? This is Conover.
And I'm Ringroo. Hello, hello, hello.
And as you can tell right here with the attack beacons shining all over that pretty innocent little French town, we are on the map of St Mere Eglaise, looking again at another 2v2 from that, what was it, tournament called there, right?
Russian 2v2 tournament.
Okay, well, the Russian 2v2 tournament. So, to fight in the Western Front, you had to be in the East. And who's actually fighting it out today?
Well, on the left-hand side in blue, we have Team Nabat, and they are comprised of Moroznik as Blindee, and Vartanin as 2nd Infantry, or Vartanin, oh, bloody hell. Anyway, on the right-hand side, in the red, with more easily pronounceable names, we have Team Flint, with Dream Drama as Paris, and Lightrare as Troph SS.
Okay, so it's the Terrible Twos up against, well, the divisions. And frankly, looking at the first breakout, yes, we are going to see some town action, but, well, neither side really just looking to paint the town red, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, 2nd Infantry has some cool flamethrower dudes, which is definitely going to help out in the town, but apart from that, neither side are, in A phase, are great CQC fighters. Paris has a lot of neat shields that they can throw in there, but that's about it.
Well, one thing it is going to be for sure, that Puma is going to cause quite a stir once he gets where that brewer needs to get.
Mm-hmm.
I never really appreciated until we started doing the replays, though, that road is canted ever so slightly, so that way they can't just own by shooting way back down the road.
I know, right? Thank God for European road infrastructure.
That is sort of true.
We're not gonna like blow a hole through the mountain to try to get through it. Oh no, we're curve along the landscape. It'll look nicer.
I have always wondered that growing up. I was always asking my parents, why the heck did we not just blow a tunnel through every mountain? Why did we go over it? It made no sense.
I know, right?
We have the technology. But alright, down to the south, Lightrare is going to start to kind of blunt this first engagement. Looking to take out a couple of half-tracks? No? Okay. Interesting. Not sure I quite agree with that one there, Cotton. But, when in Rome, I suppose.
Indeed. He's got the Panda Grenadiers engaging the Rive, and it definitely seems like Moroznik is trying to make some push through the southern middle area of the map, which is actually a pretty good area to push for second armor.
Well, the first guy does bite the dust. That Pack 38 does make his presence known. And the Pigarens are going to be forced to cope as best they can.
Mm-hmm.
But they do have a little bit of support, I suppose.
And the mortar half-track is helping quite a bit.
He's buggered. Thought he was buggered. Interesting.
Now he's buggered.
Ooh, wait, the Spahi went down. That made Spahi actually to this kind of central position. Wow. I'm so fixated on this little bit of this tiny, you know, flare-up to the south. I'm not even noticing the stuff to the north.
Yeah, up north. Like, north, nothing really going on too much. Got a little bit of a skirmish here with some Ranger Marauders. But, unfortunately, how the front line system works, they're not going to get a surrender on the Landshutchen. As another squad of Landshutchen shoots them.
Yes, it's certainly true. The Landshutchen are doing exactly what they do. They shoot many Landes.
Indeed, indeed.
Although
do they shoot and land, or do they land and shoot?
Ah, well, that depends. Are we invading Crete? Well, at that point they get shot, and then they land. But disturbing images aside, the Germans are threatening to go into this town. There's a Ranger Marauder that might be able to kill that Recon Panther. Excuse me, Puma. Wrong size kitty. And this is going to be really, really sad. Yeah, here it comes.
He goes. He shoots. Oh. And he completely riffs a shot. How can you do that, Ranger Marauder? You have 2 star veterancy going for you.
It's certainly true.
But the Puma's going to be taking its revenge on the mortar. The mortar outside the town.
I suppose I kind of understand that. And actually, now I'm thinking about it, it's a better call to go for anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not getting that many good hits on it, yo. And the mortar is going to pack up and leave, which is definitely a smart move. if he does actually do that.
Well, the mortar gets packed up, I think, but the Ranger Marauders, they ran afoul of a Flammenwerfer squad who did waste a quarter of their munitions on them, but still, I would throw away an entire ammunition load to get rid of Ranger Marauders. Those guys terrify me.
Yeah, definitely one of the scariest. Out of all the like infantry, 2nd Infantry has early on, those things can be goddamn terrifying because they just pop out of nowhere, and there goes your boy to Firefly, for example.
And you cannot sacrifice that kind of material, not even remotely.
And they're going to be spotting everything while they do it as well.
Yep. Speaking softly and carrying a big stick.
A very big explosive stick. Which is the worst kind of stick to be up against.
That is
explosive kind.
Very true. There's an early M10 that's being brought on in, though, going after this poor 250/8 internal fragment, so that guy's completely useless. And his Pack 30 is trying to get a new line of sight on him and will.
Ooh, that'd be a good run.
Well, he fired 2 shots before and got 2 kills. A bounce and a second shot before the M10 gets really off the first one. He might be able to win the suppression fight. Ammo storage hit.
Ooh, ammo shit. This is probably going to be a... There we go.
Yes, it is.
Really good kill at the Pack 38. It's usually a little bit underestimated, but he did take the run-style veterancy runs, which is what you want to do as Trophy Test, because that run-style veterancy gives you a really big bonus, especially when buffed up to 2.
Well, I was going to say, Lightrare's early play over here in terms of anti-tank has been absolutely spot on. And I'm trying to see if we're playing... Okay. We have 2 1v1s with a kind of meeting of lines over here in the kind of south-central part of the map. But that's okay. And Panzerjäger's over here trying to keep things at arm's length. And these guys will be instrumental if they can get in and around right back where that WC-52 is. That'd be an absolute wonderful position for them, but that's really, really difficult to get to.
That'd definitely be a little bit tough for sure. Up north here, 2nd Infantry doing some pretty damn good push.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Taking quite a lot of territory at Sherman, helping out quite a bit. This could really give the Allies that nice little +1 point advantage.
Well, and let's not forget the Ranger Marauder 1919. Oh yes. Hideous little machine gun, but it does work, I suppose.
Indeed.
The DMA is going to be dropping off some more, I would think, Landesschützen. Which would be enough. Maybe just keep it enough. I don't think it's going to be enough.
No.
Especially when one of the squads gets roasted and toasted by Ranger Marauder squad. And that's what we're talking about. It's like heartburn. You don't know it's there until it happens.
We've got another Panzer run, because we've got a Panzer run already in the northern middle area, which is actually pretty good call, and there's no anti-tank here. But up north we get a nice little... Yeah, goddamn, there's even a boy to Firefly being brought in up north. Oh boy, didn't see that. That's a big call-in from Lightrare and Dream Drama.
Well, we do have the Panhard MG, which is kind of funny because technically it says the top's enclosed, but if you look at the picture, it's definitely very much not enclosed.
I know, right? It's definitely like Eugene, please. Maybe I just have like a little like mosquito net that they just drape over the top, and it's like, oh, it's technically enclosed, you know.
But it's hot. Fine, you can put the roof open. Open the moonroof. Panzerjäger, in the meantime, chasing after this Stewart. Not going to see a whole lot. He's going to run himself afoul, I'm sure of it, of this double D. The Panzerjäger just continues to, just hiccup his way through it. Was the Oaf something to the north that I missed?
Yeah, up north is Sherman. Lovely use of Panzer strikes behind enemy lines.
Yeah. That is a beautiful kill right there. Of course, a lot of Schützen running away from rifles. That's always embarrassing, considering the amount of firepower rifles have.
Yep.
Did the boat of Firefly go down too? No, it didn't. No,
no, he's still hanging out.
Underneath the mini-map for me.
Yeah, he's going to be relocating to the far northern side. He's not going to be able to do too much here, as he's got a machine gun and that's really it against infantry. I do want to apologise for the coughing, by the way. I'm just a little bit sick during this recording session, but the show must go on.
Well, you're sick of not seeing Verframmans, I completely
I
understand.
know, right? I'm sick of not, talking about Sherman stabilizers.
Well, unfortunately, stabilizers have not done them a whole lot of good. Whenever they have had stabilizers, they've been stabilized for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I was checking into the town fight, though, and, inch by inch, play by play, we are seeing the Ranger assaults clawing their way forwards, which is a real sight to see. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, flamethrowers usually trump everything else in the town. Not tanks, at over 100 meters. No, that doesn't work. I'm still surprised that Puma's alive. There's usually a light vehicle in the town, especially a high priority target one like a Puma. Usually dead by now.
2 Panzer Jaegers, by the way, they're trying to beat up on that Stuart, and they do so. This is another great spot for this vehicles, is to get these nice down-the-lane shots.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they're not cycling just fast enough, and the Sherman's going to run afoul of this, too. Oh, you don't want to get that close.
Oof.
Don't get that close.
2 stars? Panzer? That's really scary for the
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, since there's 2 and they actually have space.
Oh.
Yes.
Damn, that's huge getting that flank around. You do have your 57mm gun.
Yeah, I was going to make that comment too. But he's going after the mortar instead.
With all of his 2HE and 2HE firepower. Like I said, why didn't they just put a machine gun on that thing? Like, you could have just plopped it on the top and called it a day.
It does strain credulity, doesn't it? And he obligingly put himself 100 meters inside. There we go.
Yeah.
Tracks and wheels damage, but okay, he does at least spot for the infantry. Without that, now the infantry sees him. 57 Mil's going to try to back up, and the P Grens are going to see them again in a second, I would think. No? Nothing? Interesting.
No pa.
To the north, in the meantime, this revivified German push is able to stop the bleed, and I think they're going to be enough. Yep, that's one squad right there, and I think this mortar's going to go down pretty damn quick as well.
The Germans definitely do have the units up north to try to make a push happen, as the Allies, all they're bringing up right now is, like, one rifle squad.
Well, the town is still not German. The town is very much rifled.
Mm-hmm. Rifles galore, here, yeah, everywhere. I think probably the best thing for the town is for Trophy S to bring in, Panzer into and just rough the town to bits and back.
I'll forget that. Just do a Ju-188.
Oh yeah, you've got Paris vision. It's even better.
But I think actually we're going to see some Russians being brought on in. I might be wrong.
Nope, you're correct.
I know. How weird is that? I heard the surprise in your voice there.
Those are indeed the RRAs.
And the rifles are not going to be able to stand the firepower of that magnitude. The biggest thing for them right now is that they're fighting the Russians in the open. And that cover is going to play a very, very big part for this.
Mm-hmm.
But, interesting. This LEFH, I wonder where he's going to be firing. Well, nowhere right now. Hummel coming in. Panzerwerfer, there we go. This is Panzerwerfer you wanted.
There we go. 2 really good artillery pieces for winning town fights for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And once you win that town fight, it's pretty easy to hold on to, as it's just no man's land between you and them.
Well, let's also make a point here to mention too that Vartanin's 2nd Infantry does not have a ton of anti-tank.
Yeah.
Rifle spam is one thing, but rifles have nothing else. And now the officers have gone down, so watch all this infantry begin to fold.
Indeed. Yeah, 2nd Infantry, like your real main infantry anti-tank are those Rangers and Marauders, which are really scary, of course, but only come in a limited number.
Well, one of them is being brought in now, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough as we were hoping for.
Yeah, I think it's just maybe regular bazooka squads.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Because
so maybe just have some regular bazookas, which you usually don't see all too often, I'd say, for 2nd Infantry. Most people just plate 76mm AT gun spam.
It is interesting to me to see the ROAs. I think the entire card got brought into the center.
That's a lot of RAs, jeez, yeah.
And
For sure.
Panzer, yep, so the Bazooka Squad just showed up, he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that stuff is now firmly in the Wehrmacht hands.
Yep. All thanks to Russian allies.
Yeah, and the Panzer.
Which is a really weird thing to say for a German perspective.
Yeah, I suppose that's true, isn't it?
Yeah, especially with SD2 coming around the corner. We're not going to be saying that in SD2 yet, for sure.
No,
they're definitely going to be fighting against each other.
Ooh, Panzerjäger is trying to engage that Char M4 and bounces a shot. He can get a kill from that range. It's a little unlikely, but it is possible. Alright, I really have to test some of the accuracy for SD2 a little bit more. Looking forward to kind of seeing how much more accurate troops can and cannot be. Now, they did make a comment that the line of sight and the ranges are going to be quite extensive, didn't they?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty much more longer range compared to SD44, which makes sense because, you know, it's on Eastern Front, large rolling plains, all of that good stuff.
Certainly true. And this last rifle squad tenaciously trying to have a defense here. But you are not Tenacious D. There's no Jack Black to be found.
There's no Pick of Destiny to be had.
Exactly. And this is not a tribute. You've got to believe us. But this last... Okay, so there is at least a DD tank who's going to be able to hold the line for a little bit. It might even force a surrender or two. No, Feldgendarmerie, never mind.
We've got 2 off-map Shermans being brought in, so they're... The Allies aren't messing around with this town anymore. They're taking off the gloves. They're calling in the heavy gun. Well, medium guns, really. But if you get 2 medium guns, like both those 155 mils, it's really just one 310 mil. Yeah?
Well, I can't say for sure that first barrage is going to be a lot more devastating than the second one.
Oh, yeah. That's all pinpoint.
Now, fascinatingly enough, the Hummel is trying to engage nothing. LEFH as well. And big deal. The ROA takes a couple of shots, that's not a big deal.
Yeah, they're expendable.
As are many things. Kind of funny things that the Allies have gotten themselves running into some of their own firepower, actually. They caught the tail end of that barrage. And it is still going to be, it looks like a German victory so far. They still have the +1. They are ahead, but of course that could change on a dime.
I mean, I still kind of give this, in terms of just divisional matchup, over to the Germans a little bit more. As with French armor, the late game isn't as strong compared to Paris or Trophites. So it really depends how they can hold their own. I mean, looking down south right now, another Greyhound recon vehicle just got knocked out. And yeah, Lightrare is still holding on really well, just bloody 2-star Pack 30H.
Well vetted up. I like how this Pack 38 is going to try to just walk his way down so he can get a shot on that steward. Very, very plucky attempt, I imagine.
Yeah, he really wanted that steward dead. The long, bitter rivals.
Well, P4 starting to come out. It's actually kind of interesting to see true tanks, not just the Boy to Firefly, which I've not checked on in quite a while. He's still alive.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I mean, his name's not Wittmann, so that kind of makes sense.
Fair point. But still, especially in like that area, that's not exactly a place I'd put a Boy to Firefly.
No, you're right.
In close quarters, orchards.
Bocage country.
Yeah. Firefly's like, you know, right open spaces, a bit claustrophobic.
Very true. There was a Firefly song joke in there someplace, but I couldn't find it. Kept linking off and on too fast for me to see it.
Oh, damn it. Oh, damn it.
But interestingly, let's also keep a nice quick nod over here to Dream Drama for fighting back. Remember that where that front line was? That was about another kilometer to the east, and now he's fought that back to a standstill. That's well done.
Yeah, it's managed to pretty much grind back 2nd Infantry. 2nd Infantry is holding pretty well because, surprisingly, they got a lot of infantry.
Who knew?
Who knew? Yeah, it's just like rifles everywhere. Here and there, up and down, left and right.
Unfortunately, the support weapons teams are kind of getting hung out to dry. A mortar decided to make a mad dash to the front. I think we unfortunately had an A move.
Yeah. It's not a Red Orchestra 2 where you can need mortar direct fire.
You know, I never really ended up playing Red Orchestra 2.
It's pretty good shooter.
I can imagine.
Especially doing banzai charges and Rising Storm. That's always the best part.
Oh my gosh, there was that long time ago. It was a World War II shooter. The first one to really do like the massive online play. I can't think of what it is anymore.
World War II Online?
No, I mean like
Battlefield
literally 15 years ago. What's that?
Battlefield 1942?
That might be it. That might be it. Oh my gosh, I'm having flashbacks to it, and having that direct fire mortar stuff.
Yeah.
Ugh. Down to the south, by the way, checking on in. Yep, Voltigaz and Spa. He's getting hammered pretty hardcore. But despite that, Panzerwaffe is the only thing that are keeping a couple of those tanks alive. There's quite the armored pool by Moroznik. Feeling a little uneasy about Lightrare's chances unless these Pack 38s come through in fine form. I mean, it's possible, but it seems awfully unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, Pack 38 against a bunch of Shermans, never really all that good, but still, we're on C phase now, and this is where Trophies S can start getting pretty scary with the Panthers and Tigers that they can start ripping out. I mean, right now he's only got a bunch of Panzer 4s, but really, it's just pretty fair played against a bunch of Shermans. It's about positioning. It's just about positioning, really.
Well, and getting an infantry nest in close, too. Yes, there's a lot of open spaces, but you hunker down in some of those forests. You don't do what that one P-Grunt did, which was cross right in front of 3 different tanks.
Yeah, I did a P-Grunt across the road.
Because you wanted to surrender?
Yeah.
ME-109 to the north, by the way, he rockets an entire section of the Allied lines, and yet it has not quite folded just yet. That's got to be something done. Ooh, is this the double flak 30? Oh, no, never mind. There's a flak 36s. Yeah, it's a flak 36s. That was a double flak 88 play. No, that's the POS ones.
It's just the HEP shooters.
But Dream Drama, he is putting forth. He's been saving up points because he's just bringing in like 150 points worth of infantry.
That's a lot of infantry, yeah. Definitely could do some artillery up north, for sure.
Well, he doesn't need artillery in the center here. He's just been pounding that material with a Panzerwaffe. And if he can get that P4 in just a little bit further to the north to get that kind of crazy sightline, that'd be great, but I don't think he's going to get that.
Yeah, I doubt it too. I'm 57 will probably come back online and sneak into the forest and kill him. We're also seeing like a second French armoured little M4 push. It's actually pretty scary if it does manage to penetrate through, as there's nothing really there to stop him at the moment.
Nothing but some brave Panzerwaffe barrages, which I imagine we're going to see rather quickly.
Like close ranges Panzerwaffe barrages can be rather deadly. It's about getting that direct hit on a moving target, of course.
Well, here they are. They're firing. Yep, one's aiming for one by itself. The other one's probably going to nuke that formerly brave Pentagonadier Führer.
He's called the artillery on top of himself. He's doing a dramatic action movie ending.
Well, that deserves accommodation.
Yeah.
You know what? And I kind of want to have him charge out of the forest so that way he can get some surrenders here.
That would be pretty good. That would be pretty good.
But let's also note, by the way, we do have the Panther G and a Panzer IV coming down to the south. Panther G is a little bit more, let's say, cautiously placed. But let's also not ignore the fact that every single one of those Shermans has either weapons jammed, or it's falling back. Means whilst to the north, The lines have moderately stabilized for the 2nd Infantry, and down south, a very optimistic placement of 4 more squads of infantry being brought on in, as well as the Sherman M4 as well.
Yeah, and we got 76 Sherman down south as well, so it really seems like I'm trying to say these bloody names for the allies. Moroznik, French armoured. He's really throwing in all his tanks now, and he really can't be affording to lose away that many because you don't really have that much to begin with French armoured.
That is certainly true. 2nd Infantry as well making a push to the north, but I think this down to the south is where we got to keep our eyes for a couple of seconds. Here's P4 as well as his Panther coming online. Has some disgusting range, but I think the artillery park might die. And that's a big loss if that happens.
Oh god. Those rough Ramons, they do have the apple orchard to help him block some line of sight at least, but you're definitely gonna lose that mortar. Oh, this could be what the allies.
Oh, wait a second. He makes it out. What? So the Panzerwerfers make it back, as does the mortar half-track. It does leave a couple of squads of infantry hung out to dry, but these guys are just going to hold on and just kind of hunker on down, I would think.
Yeah. I don't think that Panther 4 is going to get out, yo. That Sherman is locked and loaded.
No, but with the Panzerwerfers, one is pretty much reloaded, the other one's just behind him by a couple of seconds. So if they reset themselves actually behind this force and just barrage this orchard, that could be enough.
It could be enough indeed. But damn, that was pretty slick getaway from Lightrare. Oh damn, he Panther 4's going to get out, never mind.
Kind of amusing to me too. I mean, there's 118 munitions left. I don't think it's enough to get him to unjam his guns. Usually you need a little bit of medication for that. Tanks lax or something. P4's getting engaged from way downtown by the M4A376. And for some reason the Panther's trying to trade shots with a 76 mil. There we go.
Yeah, that range, it's not too risky, but still, you know, with Panthers, you gotta be very careful.
Why would you even test that? It's like asking for trouble.
We got 2-star Wolverine in middle now. But the Panther 4's giving him a bit of a run for his money.
Well, as long as he gets the next shot off, he's gonna win. He's gonna win that one. Between the fallback opportunities and otherwise. Yep, there we go. So P4 might find himself get killed by the M4DD. But that's still at least worthwhile. You want to go and trade out that M4 for that? I'll take it. M10, excuse me. And the off-map, I don't know if every single artillery barrage has been used in the off-map, but even if it hasn't, or even if it has, rather, you still don't want to be losing vehicles like this. These are still valuable pieces of anti-infantry equipment. For
sure. I mean, losing a Panther is definitely quite a big loss for Lightrare. I mean, he's still 3 over there, so he can probably get another run out. He's also for the Panzer down south, but this is getting pretty, like, I mean, the Axis is still leading, like, quite a bit, but the Allies still have a good chance of pushing back through. All they really need is a plus run to draw this out, or +2 to get a victory at this point. So, really, anyone's game still, I'd say.
Certainly seems fair. I didn't even notice the Panther death. I was looking elsewhere, and actually a P4 goes down as well.
Yeah. We got just so many tanks being brought out from the Allies. I mean, we've got some Rhinos being brought in, Sturies, DDs, 76 Shermans. They're really just throwing everything they can into this southern middle area, trying to make a bloody breakthrough.
Well, like we said, though, if you hold that town, it's really difficult to flank anything. It's really difficult to push on north and south because you can strike out from that bastion there.
Yeah, I also want to note up north we don't have one, but we have 2 Tigers.
Oh, wait, we do?
I know, right? We got one 1-star and one 2-star. I know, right? Yeah, that's definitely going to be a bit ballsy how he's positioning them, but I mean, they're not Rittman, so he should have a good chance.
Well, especially when you get a crew wounded on the Rhino already, and a Shrek comes in to finish it up. That is some great support fire there.
Yeah. I think the Tiger's like, God damn it, you stole my kill.
As every tanker feels.
Yeah. Every match of Raw Thunder.
Oh, that happens all the time.
I know. No matter what game you play, even if it's a co-op game, you're always going to be stealing someone's kills, and they may not be too happy about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lovely teammates.
It's one of those... Oh, actually down south, so a full...
Whoa!
A full Opel Blitz gets killed by a half-track.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like it's a huge deal until you realize... Oh, wait, another Panther as well, too.
And look at his breakthrough from the Allies. That's what I was worrying about. Second...
to the north?
Down the middle. Like, bit of a breakthrough here from the French armoured. Managed to get a nice foothold in that middle area. Southern middle area. But the Panthers, yeah, and he's not all that happy about these French upstarts.
Even more, with the P4, a second Panther, and the Young Panther just pinching off that bubble. Yeah. There is one guy who can save him. First name, Char. Last name, 76.
He's got 3 stars, and he's ready to rumble.
Exactly.
Coming to a theatre this summer.
Oh,
Char, locked and loaded.
I don't know that he's going to make that too easily, though, because actually we have another one scooting on in as well, another M4A2. But the spot troops, he can see everything, man. It's like the Toys and Toys story. Like, I don't know if I really like this breakthrough. Yes, they have Sapieros with Zooks and everything like that. But there's enough extra equipment that's really could be pinched without too much more trouble.
Yeah, because those Panthers are really the brick rule in his push at the moment, because I mean, the one, like, the more southern run and the Ag Panzer could definitely be killed at that range by the 76, but the run in, like, the north and middle area is definitely a bit of a tough customer. Because those 76 Shermans, you have a little bit of difficulty penning them at long range.
True. And now everything is getting pinned and forced back and stressed out, and ooh, Jagd Panzer goes down, courtesy of the M4A3.
If he can knock out the Panda 4, which probably is going to happen. But the Sherman, he's charging up, and look at that, stabilizers, boom. And look at Panther, he's getting close, but... Oh god, that Sherman, even the 75mm Sherman could kill the Panther at range. And Lightrare's been a bit ballsy using that Panther like that, but I guess in times like this, he wants to try and get the kill.
He's got to do something. Honestly, I'd be using the mortar half-track if possible to try to drop some fire on top of those guys.
Yeah.
But through the fire and the flames, they do carry on. And shockingly enough, the push has been contained. Through just pure, bloody-minded aggression, it's been contained.
Yep, and the Panther, it did get shooter wounded by 76, but does manage to pull back just in the nick of time. But yeah, it definitely has been contained, Joe, you're right, and that's... The time's really ticking for the Allies, for Team Nabat.
Panther, he's okay, there's gonna be some really... Oh, this is a gutsy move.
Oh.
I do not like that, Sam, I am. That's one. And the 76mm wisely backs away. Good play, my friend. Let's scamper on back for a moment.
Yeah. Shame, because if they could have knocked out that Panther G, that really would have opened up that southern flank, and they probably killed that Panzer for artillery park. Really the one thing in their way.
I can't help but feel that if that artillery park had gone down, that could have changed the entire course of that one area.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
We do have another M4A3 in the center part of the field, who is now seeing Pioneers, and that's going to be enough to really pound them. But the Panzer in the center part is also just going to barrage the south and just lance the last part of that boil.
Yeah.
The last members of the Rodina are getting pounded into the dust by a nice little fresh push of Voltigeurs. and others. I'm very impressed. I mean, both these sides have gone back and forth. They've gone pound for pound. I thought the second was going to get completely overmatched in the north. No, they've been putting a quick fight of it. They're getting pushed back now, but that's more courtesy of the double tiger more than anything else.
Yeah, like, definitely, like, usually some replays recast, like, you know, it's probably, like, this side's gonna win, you know, by, like, the 15-minute mark, but from this run, it definitely felt like it's been 50-50 all the way through, even though Axis have been holding quite a bit of a point advantage. And even now, like, the Allies are making a pretty decent push through this town. I mean, he can definitely knock out that Panzer effort that's fallen back. Maybe okay as a Panther coming in to save him, so maybe not.
But the LAFHs and the Hummels, that's enough to keep guys at arm's length again, though.
Yeah.
There's a Pack 40 over here as well. Like, really, really wonky sightlines. Command car is going through by itself. This is very strange.
He's leading the raid. Doing what any good commander should, well, leader should do. The Rommel approach to leading, you know?
Yeah, but this doesn't look like a mammoth carrier.
No. He's not that lucky. Well, he is actually pretty lucky. He's managing to get out.
For now, but the Länderschützen's still in the area. And with that, though, the Germans are slowly gnawing their way into the south. A couple of half-tracks, really all that's there. Panther G, okay, so the Panther G takes out this M4A3, it's GG in the south.
Yeah.
And there's 2 Panthers. Actually, how many Panthers do we have in the field? We have 3, 4...
4. And then we have, like...
4 and 2 Tigers.
2 Tigers. The Germans haven't... Have they lost their heavy tank? I think they lost the Panther. Yeah, they lost the Panther earlier, yeah. But in terms of everything else, they managed to get the heavy tanks online for the most part. It's
quite a hell of a zoo.
Yeah, they could definitely open up like a little cat park, kiddie park.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about the cat party, but that's definitely true. That is definitely true. Ammo storage is hit, so I can never remember if that's a full kill on that or not. We see it a dozen times. Well, he's dead anyway, so not that matters.
Yeah.
And that's a +1 and probably a +2 as soon as this volunteer goes down. Okay, Moroznik is surrendering in. Yeah, that's going to be a tap out from Vartanin as well.
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not often that we see that, but oh wow. Allied players are bang on even for contributing for kills.
What the hell?
That's impressive.
And it's not in a what's it called, like unit of 5.
No.
It's a unit. It's in a 7, which is like really odd because that means you have to kill
like 60% or something, and somebody else gets the other 60. Like, I don't even know how that works.
I think it's like a 1-point transport or some nonsense. I don't even know. But that's bizarre. That is bizarre, Colin.
Well, I am looking at the kills over here. This comes from the second Blindee version. So there's a mortar that did pretty well. Took out a couple of anti-tank guns. A Char V2, sorry, Char M4 rather. Wow.
Yep.
And the A70, yeah, Marine, the M4 A376, a Panther, Jagd Panther, 2 half-tracks, and a P4.
Pretty good, yeah.
And then no one else to write home about.
Nope.
But yes, but this is what I was talking about earlier on. Pack 38, first one on the lost column, 2 half-tracks, an M10, a Stuart, and the Nueve Infantry. You cannot be losing all of this equipment. Another one, Kosiak. 2 Spahis, 2 WC-52s, and 2 half-tracks.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, that is just great value. The Jagd Panther, 3 tanks and a half-track. Yes, he's expensive, but you cannot trade that negatively, unfortunately.
Especially French armored.
Exactly.
Especially French armored.
Exactly.
Ugh.
I do love the last volunteers, Camus. I don't know why I find this so amusing, but Camus, for all of you literature lovers out there. Anyway. Really, sincerely, well played to both of these guys. Well, to both these sets.
Really bloody good match.
Yeah. But Brian, do you have anything else you want to add to this?
None at all.
Alright, well folks, in that case then, I'm not sure what we're coming back with on next week, but I do know we're getting closer and closer to that open beta. So when that happens, definitely be on the lookout for some more material from us. But until then, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangaroo. Take it easy.